Do you think, Aquiles, that Trump imposing these random tariffs out of the blue, do you think part of that was his play to kind of like a cudgel on Jerome Powell?
It's funny. He has really no power over Jerome Powell. The Fed is
Right.
independent. You got 12 governors who
Well,
really don't give
USAID
a
used
crap.
to be independent too.
Yeah, well, that's a different scenario,
Yeah.
I mean, they can cut
But
off
I mean,
funding to any agency, but
given
the
that he
Fed is
doesn't, I
different.
mean, exactly, the Fed is different. So since he has no actual power over Jerome Powell, if he maybe he figures if he can, like you said, stir the pot in the economy by tariffs, that Jerome Powell will then be forced to respond. Maybe
It is a possibility. All right. But here, I would
he is a
submit this to you,
madman, Donald Trump. So
like, hate, or what have you. Let's look at Jerome Powell. This is a gentleman who's been right more than wrong. And people do not sympathize losing side. They are going to sympathize with the winning side because the winning side has kept us in this expansionist mode for more than a decade. We have not seen a real contraction in the market till this month. I was talking about this on another media uh, last month. I said we are going to see a rough first quarter because they haven't seen that hard of a correction. Now, with the absence of correction, whenever the correction does happen, it's infinitely worse because we haven't seen that control
Mhm.
occurring. We need to have pauses in the market. We just saw one recently, so that was good. But we need to have pauses in the market for it to go back. It consolidates, it moves sideways, and then all of a sudden it starts grabbing it, going up. Thing. That's an efficient market, guys. That's how we make more money in the United States, and that's how these big companies can offer their CEOs tons of money. So, going back to the Fed and the unemployment is controlled still at this point. The Fed interest rate, I foresee them having to do something in the latter part of this year because the Fed doesn't care what Trump says. They just don't. They're going to say, unless there's some imaginary thing that comes out and say, aliens say, you better lower rates. You better lower the rates and stuff. Then that's a different animal. But in absence of aliens, the Fed is going to do what the Fed wants. They are independent. They are 12. I mean, imagine there are conservative and liberal members of this board of governors, opinions ranging from the ridiculous to the absolute super conservative. So, and you have a governor, the head, Powell, who is not hawkish at all. As a matter of fact, he's more dovish, more soft stand on the particular matters of the day. An adult in the room, in my opinion. And there are 12 of them, and they are making ideas that at this point, they've been right a lot more than they've been wrong. The president is simply using the power of what I call moral suasion in order to sway public opinion towards, hey, maybe the Fed should be doing something. And the truth of the matter, the person who says that doesn't know what the heck they're talking about generally.
yeah, Jerome Powell's like, whatever, I'm not listening. I don't care. So
He's drinking his smoothie.
That's true. He just really didn't care. I mean, look at when Trump came in the first time, because Jerome Powell was still there, and mortgage rates were still hovering near zero in the first Trump term, right? And people were saying Powell needs to raise the base rate. He's sitting on zero for too long, too long, too long. And he just kept sitting there. And he was like, don't care.
And
I
he
don't
was
know if
right.
he was right. Do you think that
He
proved
was
to be a
right.
good thing?
Yeah. For that particular point in time. Sometimes the best move, and I just know this as a money manager, the best move is not to take action.